Hey everyone, welcome to Z's Bees. Today we are going to get back in the hives. It's been a little while. I didn't do a video on it, but the only thing I've really been doing is about every 3 to 4 days, I've been switching out a feeder bucket. So I'm going to do that again today. They're still taking the 2 to 1, and I'm going to hopefully do that until they don't take it anymore. And my goal today is to open up the hives a little bit, see that the queen is laying. The brood that she's laying right now is going to be the bees that live all the way till next spring. So the bees that I'm seeing in March and April next year are the bees that are going to be hopefully being laid right now. I haven't opened them up in a while since the last video where we put down the pollen patties, so it'll be interesting to see how they've done on that. Like I said, we're going to switch out the feed and then we'll get in there. So if you want to come up, Matt, I'll pop this open for you. If you remember, this first box is just the protection. So this screen, this is just to keep all the big stuff out. Looks like there's a little earwig in there. Let's see what we got in here. So a couple bees have made their way in that are now dead. I'll give it some smoke, and I can tell you right now, just by the feel of this, they have completely taken down all of the, of course now my smoker went out. They've taken down all the feed. They built a little comb right here. The comb is good. That means that they have enough. So let me work with two hands here. Matt, if you want to just give me one step back, I'm going to shake these off into the front of the hive. We'll set this aside. See if I can get my smoker back going again a little bit. You see there's that little bit of comb in there. So they'll crawl back in. And I have a feeling we're going to have quite a few bees on this inner cover here. These are the covers that I built myself, very similar to what you can purchase with the vent holes in there. So that was a pretty good pop there. They're starting to seal everything up. We've had some pretty cold nights. So let's see what we're dealing with here. Okay. So not a ton of bees, which is to be expected. They're starting to really lessen their numbers. I probably won't see any drones on here because they either are kicking them out or they've kicked them all out. They get rid of them because all the drones do is eat their food, and there's real no purpose for them in the winter. So Matt, if you want to come on close, you can see down in there, there is a decent population. I see that we still have a lot of stored honey in there. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to do like I normally do and go from the edge. I'm going to try and just pull out one of these middle frames just so I don't need to disrupt them. And also, because of all that honey in there, I don't want to induce robbing. So I'm going to remove this wax. We'll save that. We'll try and separate these out a little bit. This is going to be a little bit difficult to get these out of here. And again, I'm hoping to see some brood. Now this feels like complete honey, which it is. That is completely capped over honey. Now a lot of that's probably the sugar water. So no brood up there. Let me move over one frame. This is probably what I would consider the weakest hive is in terms of population. So let me move one frame over. See what we're looking at here. I didn't see anything as far as, but I can tell right now it's a little bit lighter. So let's take a look. Nope, they're still storing honey and drying it out. You see all that in there? So, what does that tell me? There's a potential that we have a queenless hive, or, just making sure that wasn't inside my veil, or they've moved all the way down and they're just storing the honey. They're moving all the honey back up. So let me pop this off. I have a feeling that it's going to be quite heavy. A deep box full of honey can weigh 60 to 70 pounds. The biggest thing is just getting all that propolis. So because this is going to take me a second, Matt, I'll have you pause the video and we'll come back once I have it. Okay, so we come down here and there is some capped brood in here. And this pattern was pretty typical for this queen. So you do see that there is some capped brood in here. Now, a little bit of a concern on this one is that you see there is like a bee that was coming out here that doesn't appear to be alive. We'll see. I'm not real sure how this hive is gonna end up. I don't want to keep it open too long because, again, I'm exposing honey, and when these other hives, I don't want to induce too much robbing. Okay, so we cut the camera. I must have made a motion or a movement or something like that the bees didn't like. A lot of them came up and stuff, so I had my brother start smoking, and we closed it back up. We saw that there is still some capped brood in here. I'm not real confident in this hive. They look okay, but we'll see. If they end up not doing real good, we'll use these reserves for these other two hives here. So what I'm gonna do, again, we'll create that suction, tip this up, we'll bring this over, we'll put it on top of the hive. We'll close this up. If you go way back and watch all the initial videos, you'll see that this hive, although it produced probably the most honey, was never the strongest hive. The queen always laid in a real shotgun pattern, where if you remember these ones here, the entire frame was just beautifully layered out. There's almost no open cells. So we'll see. We'll see if this hive survives. They're still looking good. I mean, there's a good population of bees. There's evidence that she was laying in there. We'll see on it. So move on to the next hive. Okay, we got this one broken down. I can tell you right now, they have glued this bucket down. It's empty. Actually, it's not empty, which is interesting. So there's a little bit left in there. I'll still switch it out. We'll try and tap some of these bees off. I still want to look for the queen up there, but again, the queen doesn't eat. She gets fed. Oh, I guess she eats, but she doesn't come up and get her own food. So all the workers come up and do that. So this is a good sign. I think that you know, they may have over here where they're backfilling a lot of the brood chamber, they may not have room for more nectar, and so they may not be storing a whole lot of it. So we'll take a look. That popping noise is the propolis. That's what the bees use to seal up their hives. So you'll start to hear that. It's not the best when you pop the hive when you're trying to open it up. Let's take a look. Just visually here, this looks really solid. You look at the amount of propolis in here. I'm not sure if it's propolis or propolis, or they're probably both correct. So we'll take and we'll set this board down here. I can tell you the sound on this. This hive is just really calm. This is the hive. Ooh, Matt, if you come close, they're still bringing in just a nice bright orange pollen. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, the pollen patties are completely gone in here. So I need to put some pollen patties in here. That'll be a project for today or tomorrow, or the next day here. So I want to see if I can just pop one of these up. Again, I'm not doing it like I would a normal inspection. I don't want to keep these hives open that long. Okay. That is completely filled honey. And again, that's probably the sugar water. So my concern then goes to, does the queen have enough room to lay? Let's move over a little bit here. Bees are starting to get interested in me a little bit. I can feel them and hear them bumping my veil. Okay. Interesting. Again, I want to get down into this lower level. This strip here, that's the Apivar strip. Active ingredient there is amitraz. That prevents varroa mites. Okay, Matt, you can end it, please. Okay, so analyzing everything that just happened. This hive here completely emptied their sugar bucket. I didn't see a lot of brood. I did see some brood down below. The health of the hive just visually didn't look the best, so we'll see. These two over here, they still had some sugar water left. I didn't see a lot of brood in there. I did see some pollen getting brought into both of these though, and the bees bring in pollen in order to feed to their young. So that indicates to me that they're still laying. I also noticed that I didn't see a single bit of the pollen patties that I had brought in. So tomorrow I'm gonna come down, I have them in the freezer now, so I can't put them on right now. And I'm gonna give each one of these another 1.5 pounds of the pollen patties to hopefully induce the queen to start laying in there. All told, I'm a bit concerned going into winter. There's enough food in here, but my question now is, do I have enough population, and will there be enough population going into winter to get them through? So realistically, if I can get 2 out of the 3, I'd be very, very happy. Ideally, I'd get all 3. There's a good possibility that I don't get any of them. I didn't see an abundance of brood being laid. I know that they slow down. We've had some cold nights and whatnot, but I was hoping to see a little bit more. So my hopes are still up. I still have bees in each hive. I did see brood in each one of the hives. Now it's just gonna be a matter of, do I have enough? This will probably be the last feed that I give them. Each one now is probably well over 100 pounds of honey in each hive. And so that's good to see. The bees are very irritable. That's part of the reason I didn't film a whole lot, is that as soon as we started digging in there, a lot of them came out and were real interested in us. I didn't take a single sting that I felt. I'm sure that my gloves or my jacket may have taken one. Matt, did you have a sting at all?
No.
He's shaking his head no. So they're still doing good. We'll give them some pollen patties tomorrow. Each one of them has a fresh bucket of feed, even though, like I said, these two maybe only took down half of that bucket. This hive I'm concerned about. These two, I'd love it if they could overwinter. Even one of them, if I could overwinter, would be great. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Thanks for watching. One of my videos, there's like one of the real short ones, got our subscribers up to dang near over 100. So that's pretty cool. So if you like the videos, please tell a friend or share it, or share that Facebook page. We'll keep this thing growing. So thank you.